Hello and welcome. My name is Sheeply, and today I'll be coming at you as a Warno 1v1 online multiplayer gameplay replay of a computer game YouTube Let's Play. Yeah, so this is a game between me and High Quality Soup. He's playing, I think, an American division. Oh, it looks like a... No, that doesn't look like a Humvee. Anyway, here we go. So I'm playing the Frenchies. I leave this guy here to take over the command point. These things get pretty far forward. Yeah, it looks like he's brought a lot of anti-air. A couple scouts, a Bradley CFV. I don't know what that is. These scouts are just in a car. That's in a car. Let's take a look at this Bradley CSV. What is this thing? It's like a tank. Okay. I brought a lot of infantry, several Milans, some Legionnaires, fair amount of sappers to take over these cities. I mean, like, all of this, I sort of identified these two as the crucial area. So this M60 starts laying into this building, but he sees our Milan and pops smoke. Both of us kind of setting up. I'm trying to remember what I was thinking here. I'll try to be kind of neutral and sort of commentate this as best I can, but I don't know much about Warno, so apologies if something's wrong about it. We got two gunners coming up to this tree line here. They can attack the forest, but my Legionnaire are here. The Milan gets the Bradley in sight. Maybe it doesn't. These gunners have remained out of sight. I'm not quite sure how... Okay, there we go. The Legionnaire open up on them. And this should be good for us. They're out in an open field. Start to take damage. The Bradley fires, but again pops smoke when the Milan gets a line on it. These gunners are, I think, walking into their deaths. Meanwhile, on my left flank, on High Quality's, I'm gonna call him HQS. On HQS's right flank, he starts pushing into the city. I've got a +1 tick. The sniper starts causing problems. This division that I play has 3 snipers right in the beginning that you can get into nice positions, which cause trouble. There's an F11 out here that's sort of circling overhead, and these gunners do run into the sapeur, and who set off their satchel charge right here. Nice nice urban fight here with the gunners going down. Legionnaire did take a bit of a beating there. I'm not quite sure if they took some other form of fire right there. HQS's infantry is being pushed back, but I have yet to really push forward into the city, which is allowing him to get a foothold into this environment. Sniper opens up, takes fire from an M11's 3A3 Dragon, and I think a M60A3. Over here, there's still a bit of a build-up. He's pushing in here. A lot of these are pretty stressed out, but I am kind of hanging back. which is allowing him to get into the city, but just the difference in sort of freshness of the troops here is noticeable. Flash engineers and mechanized rifles coming in, and artillery starting to cause some damage to these entrenched positions. Fire opens up over here. Legionnaire and Sapeur versus engineers. In the center here, Sapeurs versus mechanized rifles. Mechanized rifles over against Legionnaire on the left, and an M60 coming around the outside of the town, sort of doing a drive-by. Not a lot of Milan pressure on the French side, and a command unit does come in, giving the American player a +1 tick. But a lot of this infantry has gone down. The flamethrowers open up into it. As you can see, this once peaceful town has become a cataclysmic World War III hellscape. There's a helicopter perched above the town. I really wish I could zoom in on the helicopter. There's a helicopter looking above the town. It takes fire from a fighter jet. Survives. It's taking damage, putting some serious pain onto my my infantry down here, which are trying to fire back but are taking serious casualties. This needs to go down faster. Just withering fire, tearing apart these not cheap French infantry. Sapeurs about to go down. Not routing or anything. Switches over to the flamethrower Sapeurs. Still doing damage, but as you can see, barrage opens up and helicopter down. Crashes on the outskirts of the town, and I think I did lose that Sapeur squad. M60 opens fire on these cars racing in here, but then pops smoke as a Milan tries to open fire on it. Over here on the right, the American player is trying to get into town. I noticed that he was getting a lot of air fire off on this, so I did put some Mistrals into the city. These Legionnaire versus the mechanized rifles. The Legionnaire are losing, taking fire from two different angles. Over here on the left, the battle for this town is not quite over. There is a commander here. Right now I'm focused over here. Mechanized rifles have gotten a foothold in the city, but flamethrower Sapeurs start putting the hurt on them. I did a pretty good job this game of cycling the units back and forth to replenish them. I think that helped a lot. Sniper is causing problems for this mechanized rifle squad over here, taking fire from this this house over here. An M60 comes around here, starts putting fire on this anti-aircraft vehicle. An ATGM does damage, and then a final shot from the M60 puts it down. And the American player is setting up a rather concerning flank to this city. Flamethrowers open up across this once pristine East German main street. ATGMs open up against the M60. These Legionnaire do take down the M60, but the Dragon is putting down the hurt on this Mistral. But with that M60 gone, the flanking power of this attack has faded away, and now it's just the remnants of this mechanized rifle squad and a M1 Abrams commanding this side of the town. Over here a fight breaks out. Lots of urban fighting in this match. Fire erupts across the town, arcing lines of advanced flamethrowers, burning entire blocks. The M1 Abrams pops smoke, pushes forward closer to the town, does dodge the ATGM. ATGM there gets an M60 down, and the fight here as the smoke clears. The Americans have not been able to push into this town on the left. Mechanized rifles still holding on bravely, but eventually they are burned by the French flamethrowers. +2 tick for me. And the Americans' build up is certainly looking grim. These M1 Abrams are so powerful that it's hard to push into them. So M1 Abrams moves into the open to try to command this flank of the city. Sappers flood in. Over here on the right, a Dragon is in a annoying position, but it is out of anti-tank weapons. Supply trucks coming in. Engineers and gunners holding those buildings over there. The sniper shutting down this scout, but at the expense of taking fire from an M1 Abrams, which then subsequently is targeted by a Milan. But a laser-guided bomb does destroy the elite American tank. Steady build up. I think in retrospect what I really wanted to do here is push up, but it was so much infantry and I just couldn't quite. I don't know the game well enough to understand how many M1 Abrams he has. It sort of seems like there's an infinite number of them. I know there isn't, but it's sort of how it feels, and it makes me hesitant to push up. A command M1 Abrams pushes forward into the left city. Which point is that? Oscar. Bringing the point lead down to +1 again. Sapper paratroopers start coming into fire from gunners. What's this one called? What is that called? Zulu. Oscar and Zulu. So Zulu is somewhat calm. He's decided to just bombard it. I pull the weakened squads back. Again, my thoughts here are that I have to be more entrenched than he is into the city. And so honestly drawing him forward a little bit isn't the end of the world. Trapping. These paratroopers do end up taking too much fire and go down. And he pushes forwards with engineers and gunners. A command, what kind of thing is that? Car, an automobile, comes and contests that, bringing the point lead back to even. These gunners push deep into the city, but do start coming into under fire from the sappers. Flamethrower sappers come up and open fire. flame erupts over the city, which is now a horrible hellscape. Gunners retreat with just a few men left. M1 Abrams does come forward into the city, but I think the American player starts to think the better of it. Large sort of cluster munition rocks over the city, doing substantial damage. I reinforce this with some anti-char. I don't quite know what anti-char means, but it's happening over here in Zulu. Some rangers have broken in, but they are completely surrounded. They're not going to last long. These scouts start to take fire. These units are weakened, and these rangers are elite, but there's only so much you can do against this amount of surrounding. Planes in the sky, lots of anti-air infrastructure for the American player, and the Zulu is reacquired with this my command car. Over here the M1 Abrams is still locking this place down, and I remember at this point I'm starting to feel a little panicked. More infantry floods in. The Rangers do go down. Zulu is stabilized. Scouts being annoying, but nothing that can't be handled. Pull the command car back, and the Battle of Oscar begins. M1 Abrams takes out a unit hiding in the church. An anti-tank helicopter is brought in to try to put some pressure on the M1 Abrams. Fire erupts all over the city. Battle of Oscar. Gunners are pushed back. It seems like the sheer number of flamethrower sappers that I have are enough to push them back, at least into some of these outer buildings. French tank comes around on the right side to suppress any activity that's coming along this side. There is a anti-tank helicopter and some Milans that aren't quite in position. Sappers run into the gunners. Rangers trading fire with some Legionnaire and paratroopers. Plane comes in, does get its ordnance off, but goes down, crashing over here. Artillery starts to land. Infantry squads all over. The town is completely on fire. Fire erupting. Very vertical battle here. Rangers and gunners are holding on, but a laser-guided bomb does take care of that unit. The M1 Abrams comes under fire from the helicopter and goes down. The tank pushes off the gunners, and the Battle of Oscar is complete, but there's not much left of it. The Americans pull back and bombard it from afar in preparation for their next assault. Over here on the right, one second. Hello, Sheep Gang. I'd like you to say hello to a special guest. We have Smooth Shart, aka Thug Boss. Do you have any official statements?
Death to Israel.
Yes, death to Israel. We are a death to Israel friendly channel. What do you think about a Cold War gone hot in 1987? Yeah, well, that's what this game is about. Yeah. Midnight. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. At midnight at Pullman. Yes. Yeah, it's like slightly more than enough. Okay. Thanks, bro. I'll be down soon. Alright, yeah. So, there's an incursion of American infantry, recon infantry versus these mechanized rifles. Not an ideal matchup for French here. Flamethrower sappers open up into the Rangers, still taking just withering fire. Another M1 Abrams rolls up. Gunners have pushed back in. Looks like the Battle of Zulu has commenced once again. I do get a command vehicle in here to restabilize the situation, but there's a serious lack of infantry infrastructure in Zulu. Gunners dueling with this with these paratroopers over here, and yeah. Artillery starting to rain down. Mortar fire. Seems somewhat indiscriminate. Not particularly effective. The Americans just don't have a presence in Oscar. Another command vehicle comes up to contest Zulu. Mechanized rifles are out of ATGMs. Moving forward. Rangers leaving the district to push up to the next building. Coming into fire from command sappers and legionnaire. Tank comes right up next to these mechanized rifles, which don't have their anti-tank weapons, causing serious problems as the flamethrowers come in, shutting down once again the American incursion into the town. Cluster bombs land on the M1 Abrams, taking it out. American cluster bombs land in Zulu, but are largely ineffective, doing damage to the Legionnaire and the tank, but not enough to break the backbone of the French presence in Zulu. On the right, it looks like there is another buildup of engineers in this forest cover over here, but the French positions have pushed forward, stopping the incursions into these very deep. They can still get into here. Maybe pushing all the way up into here is the way to go. Here opens you up to fire, but there I think you could be in there. Maybe with a recon. The French position in Zulu does look a little battered, but fresh troops are pushing forward. Legionnaire and Sapper pushing up to the front. Mortar fire continues to rain down. And the gunners and engineers begin to walk forward. Softening up the French position with mortar fire before the infantry arrives. Maybe the gunners get into this position here. Zulu seems to be generally abandoned by the Americans as this new attempt to break into the French position begins to unfold. These poor engineers just walking across the field. They thought, but they certainly were opening themselves up Bradley and M11 3A3 Dragon fire. Engineers do have to back off. The sappers are bloodied, allowing the gunners to take these two sort of beachhead positions. Meanwhile, in Zulu, mechanized rifles are moving forward. M60s and M3A1 Bradleys causing problems on the flanks, but the ATGM set up in the on the flanks force him to deploy smoke. This M3A1 Bradley does start to get raking fire into the French position, shooting down the once idyllic highway, but it goes a bit too far and is opened up to ATGM fire. More ATGMs set up in the entrenched French position. Open fire, but they are taken out. A French tank deep in reserve does punish the American vehicle that moves forward. Engineers come into contact with sapeur Flammenwerfer, or whatever the French word is for that. Flammeur, I don't know. And some group para anti-car. On the right, mechanized rifles have pushed into the city and are content to exchange at range while artillery falls in from the sky. The gunners and the engineers and the mechanized rifles have once again pushed into the city, but a laser-guided bomb disrupts this push, killing the engineers. A American command vehicle does take hold in Oscar as flash engineers push into Zulu. Mechanized rifles push deep inside as recon paratroopers and group anti-car engage with them. Serious push as the final battle begins to unfold. Flash engineers are caught out in Zulu, but in Oscar, once again, a grim scene. As fire erupts, as the Americans try one more time to take hold. A brave group of elite mechanized rifles push all the way past the center of the city, threatening the French position, but they are engaged by recon paratroopers, pinned down, and attacked by sapeur. On the right, an M11A3 Dragon pushes up and starts to lay fire down on some sapeur paratroopers. This time a much more effective American bombing run does serious damage to the center of the French position. In Oscar, the situation has calmed as both sides retreat to their respective positions in the city. Zulu, the French push forward to try to oust the Americans from the city. Two M1 Abrams push forward to begin to cause trouble, but they are opened up to cluster bombs and an ATGM. The final, the Americans have the M1 Abrams pushes forward through the ATGM fire, allowing an M60 to attack, decides to take up a position, and an ATGM finally, after multiple attempts, is able to penetrate the armor. On the right, M3A1 Bradley takes out the French tank, but a Milan in turn avenges the Frankish armor. Flash engineers push in one more time. M60 pulls over to the side. It's opened up to ATGM fire and survives an attack, but goes down to the second one. Over here in Oscar, battle continues. An American command vehicle does arrive, equalizing the point lead. M1113A3 gets through and takes out some French anti-air capabilities, and as we are nearing the end of the match, I will pause it and assess. So this is where, right about where my opponent surrendered. I think if I learned anything this game, it's to entrench in the cities, be a little more defensive with my ATGMs. You're sort of like creating a sort of spider web of ATGMs and anti-aircraft. As in Steel Division 2, I have not mastered my tanks or anything, but tanks are a mystery to me. How to kill them, how to use them, it always goes well for my opponent and poorly for me when anything tank involved. Other than that, yeah, this was my first multiplayer win, so hopefully I continue to improve. GG to high quality soup. It was a fun one. I really liked these urban battles. It's like look at this town. Nice. Like that's what it's all about, right? Death and destruction. There's a lot of death and destruction in this one, so GG HQS, high quality soup. That was a fun game. Hope to see you again and play again. Anyway, we'll finish it out. The artillery continues to rain down, fire erupts, and with that, the game ends. So this is also the first time I've killed more than I've lost. I'm gonna add him as a friend. Confirm. Let's see what did well. So we had one of our planes did alright. Okay, but his... Oh wait, no, I've seen this before. Yeah, I looked at this after the game. Yeah, if for anyone who's wondering, his artillery did really well. Like, really well. His... Yeah, there's another artillery. So his artillery was getting serious amounts of kills. So I sort of thought he was making a mistake by just sitting back and bombarding my position in the city, but I think that was working. One of his mechanized rifles did really well. 2 tanks, a Legionnaire squad, and 2 scouts. Not bad. And then as for which ones of mine did well, some Legionnaire did well. Nothing did insanely well, like a plane, I guess. The laser guided bomb. I like the laser guided bomb. That's always cool. And one of my AA units killed a bunch of his planes. But other than that, none of the units really stood out, which maybe isn't a bad thing. But anyway, thank you for watching. I will catch you guys in the next one. Be ready for more Warno. I'm enjoying it. Thank you.